When a Good Officer Turns Bad, the story of Officer Daniel Mercer. Daniel had worked at the largest correctional facility in West Virginia for nearly 12 years. On paper, he was exactly what the administration wanted: dependable, quiet, rarely late, and willing to work overtime when nobody else would. The younger officers respected him because he seemed fearless around violent inmates, and the administration liked him because he never caused trouble. But what nobody saw was the slow erosion happening inside him. Years of double shifts, mounting debt, a divorce, and the constant stress of prison life had hollowed him out. He had grown bitter watching inmates run underground economies while officers struggled to pay bills. Every day he walked past men serving life sentences who somehow had better sneakers, better phones, and more cash flowing through the prison than some staff members made in a month. At first, Daniel swore he would never cross that line. Then came Marcus Reed. Marcus was serving 25 years and controlled one of the prison's largest contraband networks. Unlike the loud gang leaders who barked threats, Marcus was calm, intelligent, and patient. He studied officers like chess pieces. He learned their weaknesses: gambling problems, affairs, addiction, financial struggles, and he noticed Daniel immediately. It started small. "Rough day, Officer Mercer?" Daniel ignored him. A week later, "You ever realize this place destroys staff faster than inmates?" Again, Daniel walked away. But Marcus kept planting seeds. Then, one night, after count, Marcus quietly slid a note across the tier while Daniel worked alone. $5,000 for one delivery. No risk. Daniel threw the note away. 3 weeks later, his truck was repossessed. 2 months later, his ex-wife threatened court over unpaid support. That night, Daniel picked the note out of the trash in his memory and couldn't stop thinking about it. The first delivery happened on a rainy Thursday. Marcus had arranged everything. Daniel only needed to bring in a package hidden inside a foot-long Subway sandwich. The drugs were vacuum-sealed tightly in plastic, wrapped beneath layers of meat, cheese, and vegetables. The smell of onions and chipotle sauce helped mask everything. Simple. Nobody searched staff meals carefully. Officers brought in fast food all the time. Daniel parked outside the prison with his hands shaking against the steering wheel. The sandwich sat in a paper bag on the passenger seat like it weighed 100 pounds. This was the moment. Turn around or walk in. But desperation has a way of silencing conscience. Inside the prison gate, the rookie officer checking bags barely glanced at the meal. "Subway again?" He laughed. Daniel forced a smile. "Too tired to cook?" The rookie waved him through. Just like that, the line had been crossed. Marcus's crew retrieved the package during evening kitchen duty. Within hours, strips of synthetic drugs and crushed pills spread through multiple housing units. Gambling debts were paid. Favors exchanged hands. Violence simmered beneath the surface. And Daniel got paid. $5,000 in cash hidden inside a toolbox in the staff parking lot. For the first time in years, he could breathe financially. That was the problem. One delivery became two. Two became weekly runs. Sometimes it was hidden in sandwiches. Other times inside chip bags, coffee containers, or protein powder tubs. Daniel grew more confident each time he slipped through security. The fear faded and was replaced by arrogance. He started believing he was smarter than everyone else. But prisons notice patterns. Overdoses began increasing. Inmates who normally stayed calm became unpredictable. Intelligence officers intercepted conversations mentioning the sandwich man. Internal Affairs started reviewing camera footage and monitoring staff routines. Daniel never noticed the same investigator sitting in the parking lot every Tuesday morning. He never noticed the confidential informant watching him enter with identical takeout bags, and he definitely never noticed the K-9 unit waiting near the employee entrance one cold November morning. That day, Daniel carried another Subway sandwich, turkey on wheat, extra mayonnaise. Inside the bread was nearly $30,000 worth of narcotics. As he stepped toward security, the dog suddenly froze, then barked. Hard. Daniel's blood turned to ice. The officer handling the dog looked up slowly. "You mind opening the bag?" Every sound in the hallway disappeared. Daniel tried to laugh. "Told you this dog's crazy." But his voice cracked. The sandwich was unwrapped carefully on a steel table while officers watched in silence. When the plastic package slid from beneath the meat and vegetables, nobody said a word. One officer simply stepped back in disappointment. Another shook his head. Because in corrections, betrayal from staff cuts deeper than violence from inmates. Daniel Mercer was arrested before his shift even started. The story spread through the prison within hours. Some inmates laughed. Some officers were furious. Others weren't surprised at all. During sentencing, the prosecutor said something that haunted everyone in the courtroom. Prisons cannot function when the people trusted to maintain order become part of the criminal enterprise themselves. Daniel received 7 years in federal prison, and for the first time in his life, he walked through prison gates, not as an officer, but as inmate 224679112.